the Hoosiers open their highly anticipated season against the Ohio Valley Conference favorites, the Morehead State Eagles. And good evening, everyone. Griffin Epstein alongside my good friend Jack Edwards. Jack, these Hoosier fans have been waiting a long, long time for this evening.
And for a team like this, can they bring the culture back to Bloomington? Number 13 in the nation headed the season. Griffin, it's a special time. Game one, win number one on deck here.
Today the Hoosiers ranked number 13 in the nation.
Special place in college basketball, Griffin. Special place.
Trayce Jackson Davis, Alex Gross, two Indiana kids take the jump, and Indiana wins it. Away we go. What an evening this is going to be. I'll show you the full starting lineups in a moment, but it's the expected starting five on both sides. Xavier Johnson, Race Thompson, Miller Kopp, Trayce Jackson Davis, and Jalen Hood-Schifino for Indiana. Shot clock down to 10 for Johnson. Xavier Johnson gives Indiana their first points of the season. Drew Thelwell kicks it back to Mark Freeman. Wolf, Thelwell for three, yes! Morehead State not afraid. Thelwell with the three. 3-2, Morehead State in front, a minute and a half gone. Off the mark from Thompson, offensive board Jackson Davis, the All-American to Thompson. Here's a mismatch, Freeman. Didn't go, Kopp the board. The Hoosiers ran a lot in the exhibitions, they will here! The first bucket of the All-American season. It will not be the last today. Wolf stripped from behind by Thompson. Thompson with room. The Hoosiers getting out and running. The hurrying Hoosiers have a 10-3 lead. Be seeing the Hoosiers really try to get out and run. They had 24 fast break points. 28 make it against St. Francis as there's Freeman with a three to silence the crowd. To the NBA draft 2 years ago before Mike Woodson came into the program. Considered it this past year, got COVID though right before the NBA Combine. Good ball movement by the Hoosiers. Johnson off the glass. The kiss from the chef of this Indiana offense extends the lead to 8. Highest ranked recruit for IU since Romeo Langford. Freeman, top shot, yes! Freeman with some words for the bench as well. He is a walking bucket. Averaged 17 points 2 years ago at Tennessee State. Thompson, oh, good feed. Jackson Davis, like a knife through butter, the Indiana offense there.
Excellent one-touch pass from Thompson to receive that and immediately drop it in the hands of Jackson Davis. That's a team that understands each other.
Freeman. Oh my. Back-to-back impressive shots by Mark Freeman. 27% from the field last year from beyond the arc. Three ball off the mark from Khalil Thompson off the bench. Bryan, the offensive board. Redding will bring it up. He's out there with Thomas Freeman. Wolf re-enters. And Trent Scott, the freshman, has just entered as well. There is Gross, the Southern Indiana native, with the turnaround.
Again, as we mentioned, all the broadcast strength that Indiana has.
Gross first team NAIA all last year. He had the most points of any person in NAIA. Kopp long two. That one was halfway down. Freeman running quickly. Freeman, oh my! The Eagles have the lead. With Schifino and Galloway, likely the two guys to handle the ball. Oh, what a pass! Bates from Reneau.
He completely sold them there.
10 seconds left on the shot clock. Reneau working on Gross. To Bates. Galloway's got to go. Bates at the buzzer. Banked it in.
Maybe not how they drew it up there, Griffin, but you're taking that every day of the week.
Freeman tries again. He's fouled and hits. Mark Freeman, you got to be kidding me. Xavier Johnson is saying he kicked out his leg.
I think Mike Woodson's stressing a similar fact.
We're getting a look on the Jumbotron of the replay. No one is happy. Xavier Johnson still pointing up. Hoosiers running out of time. Geronimo trying to make something happen. Yes. Well, that's a new look from Jordan Geronimo off the dribble. Geronimo said he wants it. And a foul called before the shot. That will go on Wolf.
See another look at the foul here, kind of just bumped by Wolf there. Still Indiana basketball, second chance still here.
So Wolf with 2, Redding in. Geronimo off the inbounds. 4 points for Jordan Geronimo, showcasing that improved jumper. He's worked on that over the summer. Shafino, the true freshman, teammates with Reneau at Montverde Academy in Orlando. Part of the 5th best recruiting class in the country. Teammates, hook up. Reneau for 2, and the lead is back out to 6 for Indiana. Hoosiers on a 6-0 run over the last 2 minutes and change. Second unit getting a boatload of run. Reneau spinning, targeting, and the foul.
He's fired up.
He doesn't play like a freshman, he doesn't look like a freshman, and he might not be in Bloomington too long. This has been so interesting as Reneau's going to try to convert the old-fashioned three-point play. That's the bound. Hoosiers on a 9-0 run.
He's almost signaling himself to come out of the game.
That was not a good sign for the Eagles. Reneau favoring, or Freeman I should say, favoring that left leg. Long 2. Cash money from Shafino. Indiana on an 11-0 run. Thompson to TJD. What a pretty play. Those two have played together for 4 years, and the chemistry is on point. Coach Spradlin talked to us how much he values the family atmosphere he's built in Morehead State in a 6 full year. Oh, Redding, what a shot. A much-needed shot stops a nearly 5-minute scoring drought for Morehead State. Blocking foul's going to go on Gross. Multiple guys with foul trouble now, and Wolf not happy sitting on the bench. He's one of their team leaders. Finally, some made 3 throws for the Hoosiers. That has to feel good. IU had started 1 of 7 from the charity stripe. Jackson Davis, hello! See the dunk by TJD on the other side. Jackson Davis up and under, off the glass, and the foul. You said it, Jack. He's trying to assert his will on this game. Try to convert the three-point play. He does. Yeah, he's playing with that cast on his right hand. Didn't play in the season opener exhibition game against Marion. Came back against St. Francis. Didn't seem to be affected with 19 points and doesn't seem to be affected today.
Shows his dominance. Got one hand, basically. Still one of the leading scorers on the court here today.
He is left-handed, so that helps a little bit. Jackson Davis guarding Thelwell. Oh, Gross was loose. Lays it in. Morehead State can settle for the last shot. Thelwell, good if it goes. Yes! Oh, my. Well, something for Morehead State to get excited about going into the locker room, but it was all Hoosiers down the stretch, Jack. A 20-8 run for Indiana heading into the locker room. Thompson's already tried 2 threes, but the third time is the charm.
Got some nice technique, Griffin. He's got a bit of threat from beyond the arc. If he can have that at a 30-35% clip this year, that's a really big add for Indiana in terms of their offensive repertoire.
Hoosiers only had 4 fast break points, but again, I think that number is a little deceiving. You look at the 20 points off turnovers, and it shows you how much the Hoosiers have gotten up and down the floor. Something we noticed in the exhibitions, it's translated today. But Shafino, that's pure. Give the 4-star freshman a little bit of space, and he won't miss that much. 4 points for the freshman, and Indiana has a 17-point lead. This is their biggest of the evening. Wolf traveled. Another turnover for Morehead State. Coach Spradlin called it poor floor balance for the Eagles, and they have been unable to solve it today, but you got to give credit to this Indiana defense.
14 turnovers, Griffin. It's not a pretty number in the slightest there, obviously.
The IU student section is giving Jake Wolf, the Lipscomb transfer, a very hard time right now. Mike Woodson said right now he's playing too fast, and he has to understand, especially with Hood Schifino now on the team, he doesn't have to do everything. Speaking of Hood Schifino, he goes down hard. The shot won't go, but he'll have 2 shots at the line.
Games, the North Carolinas, the Kansases of the world, when you've got these hurt to have more good players.
Never can. Indiana certainly added 2 really good ones. Wolf. 3-ball rattles in, and he points to the 3 to the Indiana student section, trying to quiet them. There has been a lot of trash talk between both of these teams. Emotions running high between these conference favorites.
Look, you don't want to poke the bear that is the Indiana student section.
Well, Wolf steals it again. He's on the run and finishes off the glass. Takes another look to the student section and gives them some more words. 5-0 run for Jacob Wolf.
And Bob Knight, you know, solid head coach as well.
Yeah, he actually told Mike Woodson, though, or at least Woodson was told by Knight that he wasn't a good defender at all. But Bob Knight wasn't always known for using a lot of positive reinforcement. Trayce Jackson-Davis with some positive reinforcement on this crowd.
That played beautifully.
Wolf still hearing it from the student section.
Crowd favorite here in Bloomington.
LJ Bryan has re-entered. This is a mismatch on Johnson. Thelwell an open tray. Splash. Reneau guarded by Thomas. Too strong, Maliki Reneau. That's a 6'5" guard, and Khalil Thomas trying to guard a 6'9", 235 forward in Maliki Reneau. It's just not fair. He's playing at Montverde Academy, one of the top programs in the country. Reneau won a Geico High School championship with Hood Schifino. Air ball by Thelwell. Wolf will take a seat, and the students will wave him goodbye.
You could definitely sense when he would get the ball, he would be feeling the crowd and the reaction to him. You'd almost, he was little rushing things a little bit. He got into the Indiana crowd's heads, and they may have gotten a little bit into his.
Scott's got a room. Jackson-Davis, a ferocious block. Kopp for 3. Yes! It is too loud to think. The loudest Assembly Hall has been all season.
It's an unbelievable 1-2 sequence here. We're seeing another one here from Jackson-Davis earlier on in this half with a dunk there. Have the block, and immediately Indiana capitalized on that momentum.
Morehead State prides themselves on their defense. They were the second best scoring defense in the OVC past season, and watch their walkthrough this morning. They practiced almost only defense. Reneau, oh, what a move.
It's moves like that is why so many people are high on him at Indiana, because that's special. That's the kind of movement that he's got to be able to move onto his left hand. Very, very mobile guy.
Scored in double digits in the 2 exhibition games. He's got 9 today. Wolf to the rack, rejected by Reneau. Falls to Geronimo. Kopp again. Yes! You don't want to let this guy get hot, or he might bring down Assembly Hall. The lead is 20 for the first time today. Wolf looking for Bryan and hit the rim. Off Bryant's shoulder, Indiana ball. It is just a madhouse in Bloomington right now.
Man, I mentioned poking the bear when Wolf was chatting a little bit with the Indiana student section. The bear has awoken.
You see head coach Preston Sprouton for the Eagles. He has just been assessed a technical foul before the break. So Miller Kopp is going to get 2 shots and the ball. Plus free-throw shooter on the Hoosiers. I think some of the atmosphere maybe just starting to boil over a little bit for Morehead State. He's an elite defender, so that's a big reason onto the court. There's Kopp again. Too strong! Jordan Geronimo out of nowhere! Just a putback for Geronimo. Kopp is taking a seat, and he's going to get a loud applause.
He'll take credit for an alley-oop there rather than a missed shot.
Just 2 team fouls so far on the Hoosiers. Have played pretty clean defense. Malmer in some traffic hits the shot. Their senior transfer from D2 Cedarville.
Indiana's really made them work for their shots. It's been kind of acrobatic efforts like that have been the majority of things.
Reneau working on Bryan. And the foul, Maliki Reneau into double digits. He's got 11. Said he wants to be a spark plug off the bench. He knows that is his primary role right now. He converts the three-point play. Missed some 3 throws earlier. The lead is now 25 for the Hoosiers. It has ballooned from a 12-point lead at the half. The Eagles just have not had a whole lot of options offensively in this second half. It is 24 for the Hoosiers. Galloway finds Bates. It's a 3-on-2. Geronimo up and finishes. Scored 10 points against St. Francis on Thursday. He's continuing his great end of March. Bates in space. Bates the slam.
And just put 2 hands on it and bring it down.
Looking inside for Reneau. He's fouled.
Leveraged that. We saw early on almost the hockey-like changes they were making to try and combat Indiana's size down low.
Depth, obviously, having Reneau, a big part of it. Indiana had Jackson Davis, but at times where he got into foul trouble, it was a little bit more iffy. Michael Durr was in the program for just 1 year at an up-and-down season last year for Indiana. Thelwell, Reneau pinned it off the backboard.
Put too much onus on the freshman too early.
Experienced guys that have bought in defensively for Indiana. Tough shot for Malmer, didn't go. Reneau is running the floor again. Reneau, coast to coast! You gotta be kidding me! Open 3, Scott will give it a go, yes! First points for the freshman out of Tampa, the only freshman that's gotten playing time today for Morehead State. Johnson, Duncombe, Geronimo, Bates, and now C.J. Gunn, the true freshman out of Lawrence North, making his Indiana debut. Bates from the elbow. That's pure from Tamar Bates. He's quietly had 9 points tonight. Guy trying to make that sophomore leap. There's 47 points, though, tonight for Morehead State. This Indiana defense delivering on its high expectations. Bounced off the legs of Malmer. Johnson, Geronimo! That kid has a streak of spectacular in him. Thelwell trying to quiet the crowd, air ball. Well, we've seen some great plays. Freshmen have been fantastic tonight, and let's send it down to Audrey. No, first let's take another look at the alley-oop, actually.
Oh, that's unbelievable, Griffin.
And that there will be a time that they can beat that first team in practice if they just work hard and are patient, and that's exactly what the newcomers did. IU head coach Mike Woodson said the winning in practice has been back and forth ever since.
Agrees in the aggressive defense of the Hoosiers. They have forced a ridiculous 21 turnovers by the Eagles. Banks. Banks sit in for his first points of his Indiana career. Leal to Gunn. Too strong. Banks goes down, and the loose ball foul is going to go on the Eagles. And Fishing and Crew. There's another look.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be probably just a foul, to be honest.
Caleb Banks will have 2 shots and the ball. Freeman, 14 points all in the first 14 minutes for Morehead State, and sprained his ankle. That was certainly a turning point in the game. Student serenading Wolf exits the second. Substitutions here for the Eagles. Gunn. Back. Gross hits both. Certainly a night he'll remember, the Southern Indiana native, but Hoosiers did a great job slowing him down. 5 points for a guy that averaged 24 points last season, Olivia Nazarene Banks, excuse me. Both of these freshmen are spectacular players, and Banks through contact. He was out with an illness last Thursday against St. Francis. Looks to be in mid-season form. Even these freshmen off the bench likely won't get a lot of playing time this season for Indiana. Look awfully good. Indiana takes on Bethune-Cookman on Thursday night, 8:30 Eastern. It will be on the Mothership Big Ten Network, so your wallet will be happy Thursday night. It's free on the Big Ten Network, and then IU has its first big test of the season a week from Friday. They take on Xavier on the road at the Cintas Center. That's going to be a fun one. But for tonight, it's a Hoosier victory. 88-53, the final. Morehead State made it interesting early, Jack, but the Hoosiers pull away, and they are 1-0.